Hello, my name is Katie. I'm a paramedic in the emergency department at Emmanuel, and today we'll be reviewing how to apply a cervical collar or C-collar in a patient with suspected or confirmed cervical vertebrae injury. Some indications for a C-collar may be a significant mechanism of injury that leads you to suspect trauma to the cervical spine, or the patient complaining of head, neck, or back pain following a traumatic incident.
Okay, so to size the C-collar, we're gonna have their head at just that neutral inline position. We're gonna be placing our fingers on their shoulder, and we're gonna be measuring how many fingers between their shoulder and the corner of their jaw here. So in this case, it looks like 4 fingers. And then just, kind of take your fingers away and add them to get your measurement. We're at 4 fingers on this guy. So here's our C-collar that we are ready to measure. Some models, as you can see on this one, they have a sizing line, and this will be our reference for measuring. If there is no sizing line, you're gonna wanna measure wherever the blue or dark inside of the C-collar ends, that plastic piece. But in this case, we have a sizing line, so that's what we're gonna use. We've already measured the patient's size with our fingers. So we are going to place our hand against the collar. Let's say this patient measured 3 fingers. We're gonna place our fingers at the sizing line or the bottom of the collar, depending on the model, and just line it up to whichever square is closest. So in this case, it's gonna be short. These squares, tall, regular, short, low. Different models have different variations of these names. I think you'll find most patients are gonna measure one of the bottom 2. We're gonna measure our fingers. Let's say it was 3 fingers and we're right at that short. Now we're gonna adjust the collar. Most collars, I think you'll find out of the package, they're unlocked, but here's the locking mechanism up here. You gotta press in both sides, that's locked. And then from the back to unlock the collar, so the collar is unlocked, and we are going to adjust the collar by pulling up on that little chin support. See how the red dot moves through the sizes. We wanna get it on short, because that's where we measured. Notice both sides are even, that's where we want it. And then we're gonna lock the collar into place. And we are ready to place it on the patient. What I'm gonna do is direct my partner to hold manual C-spine stabilization. We're gonna note a couple of things. The first one is gonna be the placement of my partner's hands. We're a little bit high. We wanna be right between the ear and the eye, and we're holding firm pressure and keeping the patient's neck in line and neutral. Before we place the collar, after measuring it, we're going to be checking for sensory, motor, and circulatory function of all of the extremities. This is done by checking pulses and then asking the patient to move their fingers and toes and if they can feel you touching. So we'll check pulses. Can you feel me touching? Can you move your fingers? Again, pedal pulses. Can you feel me touching? Can you move your toes? Okay, you're going to want to note any deficits or any positives. We're gonna place the collar by resting the patient's chin on the chin rest. Just encourage them, keep your face looking straight forward. We're gonna wrap the collar, secure with Velcro, so the patient is still neutral, in line. Our partner can let go. And again, check your CSMs after this procedure, circulatory, sensory, and motor functions, and note if there are any changes, and make sure to follow your protocols.
Okay, now we're gonna practice placing a C-collar on a patient who is laying down. You're gonna need to do this on a supine patient, so if the patient's not supine, we're gonna roll them. I'm gonna direct my partner to hold manual inline C-spine stabilization, and we're gonna log roll the patient together. Roll on 1, 2, 3. And the patient is supine. So we've measured our collar, we've checked our CSMs. Next, we are going to use the end of the collar here, and we're just gonna slide it underneath the patient's neck. And from there, we're gonna kind of find our chin rest, find that placement, and we're gonna just secure it. After this, we're gonna recheck CSMs. Of course, we're gonna be talking to the patient the entire time, ensuring them that, this is not gonna choke you. This is to prevent injury to your neck. My neck kind of hurts now. Thank you for your time. As always, follow your protocols and be safe.